Beniarim özledim, rüyaları işledim. Sevdam düştü dillere. Ah benim yarim nerede? Al beni götür yarim oldu yani.
My name is Glăvan Ciprian and I am a museum curator at the National Museum of Banat, and my field of expertise is modern history. The Treaty of Pasarovic 1718 represented a major turning point in the history of Banat. After 164 years of Ottoman rule, the region became part of the Habsburg Empire, with Timișoara as its capital. General Claude Florimond Mercy d'Argenteau appointed the newly conquered province first governor, initiated a period of economic development through the establishment of booming manufacturing and commercial companies, thereby putting the city firmly on the imperial map. The governor's first challenge was draining the sprawling swamps, which had long plagued the city and its population. The successor of this major undertaking transformed the agricultural potential of the region, catapulting it to the forefront of imperial production and earning the epithet of the granary of the empire in the 19th century. Simultaneously, sanitary conditions in Timișoara and the surrounding area greatly improved. A major feat of engineering was the construction of the Bega Channel, which began in 1728. Upon its completion, this bustling trade and transport route linked the local economy of the province with the interior of the empire, further strengthening the trajectory of growth already underway in Banat. The increasing importance and development of this region, particularly in terms of public health, during the 18th century, was likewise epitomized by the opening of the first municipal hospital in the whole of Southeast Europe in Timișoara in 1745. Attracted by the increasing economic appeal of the region and incentivized by an imperial administration hoping to increase the local tax income, a wave of settlers began arriving in Timișoara throughout the 18th century during a period of so-called colonization. These settlers came to Banat from all over the empire, but were primarily German-speaking and brought with them a self-confident work ethic and valuable experience in agriculture and mining. Perhaps even more significantly, they injected another layer of cultural diversity into the region, enriching the multinational and multicultural heritage of the Banat. As a consequence of this mass colonization, local authorities established two separate town halls or magistrates in the regional capital of Timișoara, one for the German-speaking population and one, the so-called Russian magistrate, for the city's Romanian and Serbian populations. The regional diversity was, however, not only reflected politically, but religiously too. Much like the two town halls, two separate churches were built in the central Dome Square, now Union Square, of Timișoara in the 18th century, one Catholic and one Orthodox. Moreover, a number of churches, serving a variety of other persuasions, sprung up across the city. The rich variety of religious denominations was not confined to the cities. Most villages throughout Banat were served by at least two different churches, one for each of the region's principal faiths. The 18th century saw a sustained and successful campaign of modernization in the Banat region. The old fortress of Timișoara, which had suffered heavy damage during the Habsburg taking of the city, was duly rebuilt in the Vauban style. The first cornerstone was laid in 1723 and the construction was finally completed in 1765. Although this vast undertaking was meant to secure the city, in case of a potential Ottoman attack, the brand new fortress was put to the test only once, and this much later during the 1848-1849 revolution, when Timișoara was besieged by the Hungarian Revolutionary Army. Timișoara's modernization was not only physical but cultural and social too, and spanned the whole of the city, emanating from the center all the way to the peripheries. A significant leap was made in terms of education. Shortly after the Austrian conquest of Timișoara, the first elementary school was founded, and in the following years the pedagogical offer was enriched by the Jesuits, who opened the region's first secondary school, the Scola Latina. The cultural and intellectual life of the city quickly came to encompass a theatrical society dating back to 1753. Actors initially held their performances in the building of the Russian magistrate until the second half of the 19th century, when a proper theater and an opera house were added to the city's patrimony. As well as the theater performances, the people of Timișoara were likewise treated to the first newspaper to be published on the territory of what is modern-day Romania. The Temesvar Nachrichten was set up by Matthäus Josef Heimerl on the 18th of April 1771, 2 years after he had opened the city's first typography. Soon after Heimerl's efforts bore fruit in 1778, the imperial province of Banat ceased to exist. The region was annexed by the Hungarian half of the Habsburg Empire and divided into 3 separate counties: Timiș, Torontal and Karaš. The military border remained under imperial administration until its dissolution in 1872. One of the better things to come out of this dismembering was the Royal Free City Diploma granted to Timișoara in 1781, allowing it to enjoy a special status among the towns of the monarchy. The diploma, now part of the collection of the National Museum of Banat in Timișoara, was granted by the Habsburg Emperor Joseph II, who thus fulfilled a promise made by his late mother, the Empress Maria Theresa, and issued on the 21st of December 1781 by the Imperial Chancellery of the Habsburg Empire. It was later renewed by the Emperors Leopold II and Francis II. Following a period of negotiation between the administration of the city and that of the empire, the issue was finally settled in April 1782, and on December 16th of that year, Timișoara was officially proclaimed a Royal Free City, a moment marked by special festivities. The diploma consists of 24 sheets and is accompanied by a great imperial seal. While the first and last sheets are made of paper, the rest of the document was written on parchment. Besides the text and various decorative motifs, it contains a round medallion with a circular inscription on its edge which reads Sigil Liber et Regie Civitatis Temesvarian, and the city's coat of arms depicted in the center. The impact of Timișoara's new status affected the very top of its administration, resulting in the unification of the 2 magistrates into a single town hall and allowing the city the right to send 2 deputies to the Hungarian parliament. Moreover, change trickled down, influencing the city's wider social makeup and organization. The Royal Free City status and the privileges this denoted drew a large number of craftsmen, merchants and investors to Timișoara, triggering another economic boom. This development was likewise fed by the removal of many external constraints, particularly in the economic and financial sectors. As Timișoara was freed from the authority of the country administration, in effect, Timișoara's new status unleashed the city's potential and transformed it into the most important industrial center of the southern Hungary-controlled part of the Habsburg Empire at the end of the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th, and set it firmly on a path towards the future.